good in long distances, but they can race in short distances, but alone, not with the English thoroughbred. They cannot.
See, the reason I mentioned the 100-kilometer race, because I have a report from Fahad Al-Qahtani, and there's a race for the horses over there, more than 120 kilometers. But before that, we would like to thank you for being with us here in Kuwait Television. Looking forward to meet you again.
Thank you very much. I'm very glad to be with you.
Anytime. That was Abdullah Nailef Al-Brayhi, member of trustee of the Arabian Horses Center in the state of Kuwait. As I mentioned, we have a report about horses and about 120-kilometer race. Enjoy it.
كانت الخيل بالنسبة لي هواية، وكنت أحب أركبها من وأنا صغير، والحمد لله قبل تقريبا 10 سنين بديت أقتنيها. أول فرس شريتها في عام 2007، وتطور الوضع معاي إلى الحمد لله أن بدينا نشتري 1 و2 و3، عقب دخلنا في السباقات إلى أن الله وفقنا إن شاء الله. طبعا في بدايات الأمر كان الموضوع هواية وركوب وناسة وخيالة، نطلع مع الربع نروح ونرجع. تطور الأمر، قاموا الشباب ينصحونا بالمشاركات في السباقات. طبعا رياضة الخيل أو سباق الخيل في أكثر من مجال، مجال الريس اللي هو المسافات القصيرة، وفي مجال الماراثون، وهذا المجال اللي احنا يعني تخصصنا فيه نوعا ما. الحمد لله شاركنا الموسم اللي طاف، والحمد لله الله وفقنا، والموسم هذا شاركنا بأكثر من حصان. الحصان هذا أكابر عمره تقريبا 7 سنين، شارك بماراثون 100 كيلو الماراثون الأول، والماراثون الثاني شارك ب 120 كيلو، والحمد لله الوضع كان جدا طيب. وشارك في سيف الأمير في ماراثون 120 كيلو، والحمد لله حقق على مركز طيب. وإن شاء الله يعني هذه كبداية كانت طيبة. إن شاء الله الحصان كل ما كبر في السن بالنسبة للماراثون يصير أحسن وأحسن، فإن شاء الله الموسم القادم راح يكون أداءه طيب. طبعا هذا الحصان اسمه كمال، أبوه سنان الريان. الحصان خط بولش، طبعا عربي، عمره 8 سنين، وقاعد نجهزه بإذن الله إلى الموسم القادم للمشاركة في ماراثونات الخيل. هذا الحصان اسمه مهلي، خذيناه من مربط الشاجر. الحصان صغير في السن، عمره 4 سنين، تونا قاعد نعسفه بداية عساف، نجهزه للموسم القادم إن شاء الله. راح ندخله في مجال الريس، لأن ما شاء الله قطعته قطعة ريس، وهو طبعا مصري بيور، وإن شاء الله يؤدي مع الخيل المشاركة.
Welcome back, and you are still with us to the program To The Point, and we're still talking about horses. And right here on my right side, we have one of the distinguished horses lovers. We call him Ahmed Al-Mudahka, and also Amira Jum'a is the same thing, and she is equestrian show jumpers. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having us.
First of all, I would like to start with you, after your permission. You don't mind, do you?
No, not
Wonderful. How did you end up with this athletic hobby? How come not soccer? How come not maybe baseball or basketball or probably sleeping?
No, so at the beginning I started actually in a really young age. I started as 11-year-old.
Young age?
Yeah, I did.
You're already young.
No, I'm 27 now, so that was quite a while ago.
You started at the age of 11?
Yeah, that's when I started.
Where?
Here in Kuwait
I
Riding
know
Center.
in Kuwait, but where? In your house, in your ranch?
No, actually I started in a riding school.
Riding school?
Yes, it's called Kuwait Riding Center. It was at the time the first riding school and the only one in Kuwait. And yeah, it was through my mother's friends. Her kids were also riding. She got, I think, a bit jealous. She wanted me to ride
So it's
also.
contagious. What about yourself? How did you start?
I also started riding at a young age. I was 9.
9.
And
He's 11 and you were 9. Where was I? How come I did not start in anything at all?
I also started just as a hobby. My mother put me and my brother in a lot of sports. And
But you picked out this one here.
And riding is the one that stayed the longest with both me and my brother.
Well, that's wonderful. How many championships have you participated and won?
I actually had many breaks during my riding career. And I went to France for 4 years to study abroad. And this is my first season back. So I haven't participated as much as Ahmed.
You haven't? Okay, let's stick with you. How many?
None.
None
But
whatsoever?
I participated in the Emir Cup.
So you're an amateur, not a professional?
No.
You just do it for the fun of it?
I do it for the fun of it, and I just recently started to think of it as more than just a hobby because of how competitive it is in Kuwait. But I'm sure Ahmed can talk more about it because he's competed internationally.
Well, let's focus on you then. How many championships have you participated and won?
I started showing in, let's say, end of 2016. That's locally we speak, and only the Kuwaiti shows. And then in 2008 was my first international show. I've won a couple of times internationally.
Where was it held? International show?
I've done actually all over the world. I've done, so we have an Arab League which qualifies us as Arabs to the World Cup finals. It starts off back then on show in Kuwait, one in Doha, one in Bahrain, and then we go to Jordan and Syria. And then we begin in Egypt, and so yeah, I've been around.
You have an occupation, you have another profession, you have some other duties, you have some other commitment. Now, how do you manage by, organize yourself by being, a professional job in the daytime, and then during your leisure time, you do whatever you do at the best of your knowledge and whatever you love?
Yeah, that's true. It's actually that's the biggest problem we face in Kuwait, because we don't have any professional sportsmen. That's the biggest problem. Okay, let's say I managed to find the time.
This time, and your profession is a lawyer.
Yeah, as the same as
you defend some criminals.
Not criminals.
What?
Not always. Not all the time, but
the defendant is what? Is innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then so yeah, it's not so easy, because okay, we have some results in international level.
Honestly, you are too young to be a lawyer, and also when you said something that you started when you were 11 years old, correct?
Yeah.
That's a long time, honestly. So you managed. This is very difficult to manage your hobby, and also to study law. This is very difficult.
It is. That's
How did you do it?
That's why I stayed in 5 years and a half until I graduated, because I
that's not much. People stay 7, 8 years.
Yeah, that's true.
In law school. What about you? What's your profession?
I'm a lawyer too.
Lawyer too?
I specialize in corporate law.
Corporate law?
Yes.
Oh, lots of money.
I left Kuwait around 4 years ago to study in France. So
France, parlez français?
Oui.
Oui, that's it.
So
that's all I know.
so I stopped riding. I did ride in the summer, and but not continuously. And now that I'm back, I find the time to manage. I only have one horse, so I ride in the afternoons or evenings. And it's not actually so hard.
A while ago, I had somebody here who's an expert in Kuwaiti horses. And he shocked me when he said that in races, the Arabian horse, not in particular Kuwait or Saudi Arabia or anything at all, it's good in a long distance, like more than 50 kilometers. But the English, the British horses, they are good in about 10 and below. What do you think? Is it true or not? I'm not calling him a liar, but I want to know your opinion.
In racehorses, you mean racehorses? I'm not, I have nothing to do with racehorses, I'm more into...
But every once in a while you take the horse and you run.
Yeah, but I think at the end of the day, they're bred to do different things. So a racehorse is meant to race. And
Well, this is new for me. Okay, so you have a horse for jumping, and you have a horse for racing, correct? And yours?
is a jumping horse.
What about you? She keeps looking at me. She doesn't want me to ask a question. Why are you doing that?
So yeah, I'm actually also a show jumper. So our horses are meant our bred to jump. So even if we look at the fourth grandmother of the horse I have, she's also a jumper. And so different breeds do different disciplines of the sport.
Wonderful. Amira.
Yes.
A female in the Middle East, she has some kind of a discipline and a tradition to not to do this, do that, do this, don't do that, etc. For you, and you studied abroad, in France in particular, you must have some difficulties coming back here to adapting the traditions and, you know, and etc. Now, how did you manage to practice your hobby and also do your duty as a lawyer? And also, don't forget, you are a member of this society. How did you manage all of these things? And was there any obstacles at all?
Adapting to the culture, you mean? Or
Yeah.
in general?
She's talking to me and you're talking to me at the same time. What was that?
Adapting to the culture or to just doing everything all together?
All together.
As I said previously, I ride in the afternoons or at times where I don't need to be working, so that's not a problem for me. I also have one horse, which takes
One horse. We'd love to have 2 or 3 horses.
hopefully.
Hopefully. Now hold this thought. Does it cost too much to raise a horse?
Yes, it actually does. I think the sport, apart from buying a horse, it also needs to be maintained.
Maintain.
So with
Give it a bath, have it a haircut,
yeah,
feed it, probably have a female or maybe a male. Companionship.
that can be something, but also the costs of a vet, shoeing, stabling fees, and all of these things, it adds up to a lot towards the end of the month, especially if a horse is
We'll come back to that. Ahmed, I'm not done with you. We have a report and I'll come back to you. Enjoy the report.
معاكم شريفة العوضي، وبديت ركوب الخيل من وانا صغيرة، بس كان on and off أوقف وأرد، وبديتها فعلياً لما كان عمري 16 سنة، والحمد لله قدرت أشارك بطولات من الموسم اللي طاف، يعني صار لي سنة، وكان دي ثاني خيل أمتلكه عمرها 15 سنة، وصار لي 3 أشهر معاها. قدرت أحقق نتائج زينة الحمد لله معاها، ودشيت ارتفاع أول مرة أدشه، وأطمح أن أدش ارتفاعات أعلى ويصير في نتائج أكثر. أهلي وأمي دعموني الحمد لله، وهي اللي شرت لي كاندي. ما واجهت صعوبات، بس لما كنت أوقف وأرد أركب كان في خوف، بس كان يروح مع الوقت. المجتمع الكويتي صاير متقبل أكثر للبنت أنها تكون بهالرياضة، وقاعد يصير في تشجيع منهم الحمد لله.
Hi, my name is Abdurrahman Madahke. I'm a show jumper rider and I run Masila Equestrian Club, and I am 15 years old, and I began riding since when I was 9 years old, and I stopped and I began 2016 until today. And in this season I won the Marchut competition second, and the late memory of Salim Sabah I won second, and the competition of champions I won the second too, and the 1-5. The last competition in the Amir competition I did not win any place. My family support me through competitions, and they come every week and cheer me. And when I become better at the show jumping, my father bought me Amir.
We are still here. We're talking about horses, and let's go back to the Al-Mudahka. Tell us about the Al-Mudahka annual show jumping competition.
Okay, so the season in Kuwait was, we were lacking sponsors and competition. So in order to bring the level up, we had to bring some sponsors. And I decided to start off with myself and with my family. So with the organization of 4 or 5 people in my family, we decided to do an annual show. It's for the equestrian society in Kuwait. This year is the second year. I would like to use this opportunity also to invite all the viewers. It's going to be tomorrow. It starts at 5 till around 10, and then Friday also we start at 2 after the prayers, and then it goes on till 10. There'll be many activities also for younger kids, pony rides, free pony rides, and a dinner at the end, and it's a nice family atmosphere.
That's wonderful. What about you, Amira? His Highness the Amir Cup Show Jumping Championship was recently held right here in Kuwait in about more than 20 years. You participated in this competition, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Tell us your impression and what exactly you have gained from it. It happens every year, correct?
This is my first year back, so
this
it's
is
my
your
first year participating in it. It was a very well organized show. Really nice atmosphere, a very good organization, a big crowd, and apart from the riding, there were lots of other activities to do, and it was actually one of my best weekends this season. We've been training very well at the stables, so I managed to do much better than my previous weekends. And that's it.
That's wonderful. You have won the first place recently in turn minutes.
Yeah.
I believe that this achievement is not going to be the first or the last. You still have some kind of goals you would love to achieve. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so 3 weeks ago I won the Grand Prix of the Champions Health Club in Kuwait. They organized the show, they sponsored one, and I was lucky enough to win the Grand Prix there. Also I've won a couple of other classes, but yeah, my goals aren't to win a local show.
The sky is the limit, isn't it?
Yeah, my goal is one day to represent Kuwait in the Olympics.
Olympics?
Yes, I do.
You haven't before?
No, we haven't, no.
I want to be more personal about you. Well, if you excuse me, every hobby in a person, you have to have some kind of roots to it. Like probably your father, your uncle, your mother, or somebody else who loves horses, or probably who encouraged you, you know, to be the best there is to be. Yeah. Who did that?
I wouldn't say that I'm a descendant of a horse riding family. Maybe we're the